So my approach is in marketing, and I'll tell you, I usually become very personal in these presentations. So I'll talk about the company I founded in 1998. I'll talk about what's marketing. I'll talk about what I consider to be successful marketing. And then I created this hunting analogy, and I'll tell you, I will never kill a bird, I will never kill any animal, but it works very well to show what I want to teach. And then different approaches to marketing, and just a brief summary. I founded a company in 1998, and at the time, I was working for a company as a sales director. And the main reason I started this was because I had an education in computer science, and I had taken a marketing class. I had a marketing MBA. And when I started analyzing what the internet was, I realized that everybody was going to be needing a website, everybody. And I went to my wife and I said, you know what, we could start a company where we build websites. And she said, what's that? You know, this is 1998, 1997, and she had just started with Best Buy. And I said, you know, well, there is the internet is going to come in, and she said, well, we have no kids, we have no expenses, so, you know, if you want to do it, go ahead. And the real truth was, I cannot take orders. Some of us are like that. If you're an entrepreneur, you know, and so if you work somewhere and you realize the person giving you orders is more stupid than you are, it just doesn't work, you know. So, so I started, and I went, originally, you know, you say you have a plan, right? So I had $20,000. I had a house in Plymouth, and I hired 2 people, and I figured this. If my $20,000 were gone, and I didn't sell at least $100,000 by December 31st, 1998, then I will go and look for a job and take orders. But if I didn't, then we will make it a goal, you know. December 31st came. I had now 5 people in my payroll coming to my house, and my neighbors were asking, why did I have 5 cars in my garage, right? Every day. And then the cities, I called the cities like, oh, couldn't I have these people? No, sir, you cannot have a business in your basement. Oh. Then I didn't tell anybody for a year, because this lasted a year. You have to be as conservative as you can with the cash. And so it was exciting. It was great, and we called that period the Bat Cave. You know, it was the basement, wires running around, a network of computers, but it was very exciting for me. And we started to get a name for ourselves. So why? Our friend asked last time, why? So our mission is to help companies to reap the benefits of the internet. That was the beginning. We wanted to help companies to take advantage of the internet. And in many cases, we were educating people as to what the internet was, right? And so projects came, and I was always conservative, and then we moved into Waisara offices. And they were very nice offices, but of course, you, as an entrepreneur, you know expenses and profit. And you have to keep people happy, so you have to hire them, and so forth. And from experience, when I came out of college, I worked at a company called Egghead Software. Does anybody remember Egghead Software? It was a chain of stores in which they sold software, and at the time, computers were not as popular. So we educated people about software and so forth. And I loved working there because my boss, even today, is a friend of mine. And this was 1991. No, I'm sorry, 1987. And we had a lot of camaraderie, and we had a lot of teamwork. And I earned $27,000. And my boss, who was the manager, he earned 26. I earned more than him because I sold more than he did. And we were in commission. But I loved the job. And right there, I was hired by the president of a company over in Hopkins. He offered me a position, and I took it. and I was earning at the time $40,000, which was a lot of money, right? And I hated the job. I disliked the job so much that every Friday I was happy to go home, and every Sunday I had an ache in my stomach. And I realized that money was not everything. Money was important, but you couldn't pay me enough to work there for a long time. So I learned at the time that one of the most important things you can do is to create a really good working environment. And you can get away with paying a little less as long as people were happy, you know? So that was one of the strategies that I had in the company, creating a very good working environment. We hired on personality and not in talent. You had to have the basics, of course, but hired on personality was way more important to me than anything else. And that's true today. So getting that teamwork and that there is a synergy that is created when everybody likes each other, you know? So the other thing that I learned was when I was at Egghead Software, there were about 6 of us. And at the company that I worked for, where I was paying $40,000, and eventually I was paid $100,000 because I became really good, the size of the company was very important. When you get beyond 17, 18 people, it's just human nature that groups start to get allocated, you know? And so I really like the small group. My company today has 17 people. And the most I will have ever will be 20, okay? So that's another thing that is important to me. I purchased another company in 2011. And today I'm the president of Cazarin Interactive. I am married and I have 3 daughters, 18, 15, and 10 years old. The funny thing is, when I got married, I told my wife I would have 2 sons. 2 sons. I have 3 daughters. God had another plan, right? I'm a member of Rotary International since 2008. And I think this is very important. My life changed dramatically in 2008. And the reason was, before 2008, I looked at my customers as a way to pay and support my lifestyle. In 2008, I had a spiritual experience and learned that if you did the best for the people, without money, even if they didn't pay you, God will take care of you. And so in 2009, I became a Catholic, one of the things I'm most proud of today. I believe in helping others to help yourself. And if you do this again and again, I mean, you'll have plenty of money, and don't worry about it. My motto, you are the architect of your own destiny. I live by that. So life changes, right? When I first started the company, I wanted to have a Mercedes-Benz or whatever, live, whatever, you know? And I did achieve everything that I wanted financially. But as I grew up in 2008, 2009, I started to get different goals. And when I turned 50 a couple years ago, life changes, you know? I see some of you young guys here. It looks like I did like this, and I was one of you. Listen to the old fart. And today, I'm one of the old farts, you know? So a couple years ago, I started to realize, man, I'm half of a century old, and life continues. So my goal today is to have 11 vacations a year. And so I'm achieving 11 or 12, you know. But I have to hire really good people to take care of the business. And I go to Mexico, Spain, whatever, and I just monitor everything. I work, when I'm on vacation, I work for an hour a day, and I just keep track of everything. But having good people who value the business, who have ownership of that, just pays dividends. All right. So this is mi familia. My wife and my 3 daughters. My wife is very important in the whole scheme of things. And of course, my daughters. So what's marketing? Anybody? What's marketing? Telling a story. Okay, anybody else?
Making the world aware of who you are.
Yeah, telling the world who you are. Anybody else?
Creating customer demand. Could be branding.
Yep.
Creating customer demand.
Yes. It really is, this is the definitions. Tasks and processes that create value, solutions, and relationships, either short-term or long-term, with a company or brand. Okay? Creating relationships. And one of the things that I'm going to give you some tips, and actually, this tip that I'm about to give you, I even failed at it myself, and I have about 300 customers today, and I work on acquiring new customers, and I'm good at it, but it takes a lot of time. And so we're busy, and everybody gets busy, and in my team of 17 people, nobody's marketing to my current customers. You know, we do some events in the spring and the fall, but just today I hired a person to be calling and thanking them for the business and to see if there are other opportunities. I know that there is money there. And it's not that we want to really sell them, but we want to help them. And if I don't do it, my competition is going to do it. So don't forget about your current customers once you acquire them. Okay, so I'm going to give you 5 tips. The first one, and I think the people who were here before mentioned it in a different way. Create a vision for how many customers do you want or can support on a monthly basis? What is the revenue that you want on a monthly basis? How many employees do you want to or desire to have? And I talk to a lot of people, and I ask the following question, and I want you to tell me what the answer is. 9.5 times out of 10, okay? And I ask, how large do you want to be? What do you think the answer is?
As big as possible.
That's it. That's it. As big as possible. With all honesty, I think if you think in that way, you really don't know what you're doing. And that's 9 out of 10 times. You know? You need to have a vision. And I can tell you from my own experience, I will never be more than 20. I just can't, don't want to, you know, because for me, my business is a lifestyle. You have more than 20 people, I don't want more money. My wife is vice president at Best Buy, I'm a trophy husband, you know? So I don't want or need more money. What I'm after is high quality of life for me and for my employees. And they know that, and I let them know that. And that just works very, very well. So decide how many you want to have. So for successful marketing to happen, you have to research, you have to plan, and you have to create a strategy. And then there are many tactics. And let me tell you of the conversations that I hear sometimes from my customers. And here comes one. Hey, Ricardo, I want to do a mailing of 10,000 postcards. Okay, why? Well, you know, my friend, we are in this club together, and he came and he told me that he did 10,000 postcards and he got all kinds of business. And I said, yes, but he is in a completely different business than you are. Who are you going to be sending these postcards to, and so forth? So they just hear of a tactic and they want to implement it, you know? You want to understand who your target market is, and then select the tactic that is going to be best for them. So then implement the plan. So define the strategy with objectives. And my friends who presented before, make sure that they are measurable. You know, for example, one of the businesses that I worked for, this was early on, about 15 years ago, they said, Ricardo, we don't need to sell anymore. We don't need a website for that. I said, okay, explain to me what is the problem. We have 18 people in customer service, and I don't want to hire any more. We want our website to become a way for people to receive customer support and reduce from 18 to 15 if we can. So by reducing 1 or 2 people, the website will pay for itself. So we created a full customer service website where customers will get the answers, or the customer service will, when they were talking to the consumer, they said, go to this website, and they were able to get the information that they needed. So reducing tech support calls, in this case by 30%, was the goal. Or 10 new qualified prospects per week. I'm going to tell you about one of the cases that I'm most proud of. 2008, a company in Minneapolis, Minnesota, right in downtown Minneapolis, I was the 8th company that they interviewed. And they said, we need a website, da-da-da-da. You know, I gave my spiel. And then I asked, how will you measure success after 3 months the website being up? And they said, what? And I said, again, how are you going to measure success once we deliver the website to you? And they said, I don't know. I said, well, you have to think about it. Because if you don't know how you're going to measure the success, then you shouldn't do the project. 2 days later, they called me. They said, Ricardo, come in. I go in, and they said, sit down. I sit down. They say, we're going to give you the project. It's right here. I remember $17,000, a lot of money. Good, you know? And then they say, Ricardo, we just laid off 17 people out of the factory. And we believe that this is the solution for the project. And then I didn't know that I wanted to take the PO, you know? It became a lot of responsibility on my shoulders. And I said, all right, we'll take it on, but you have to tell me what's going to be success for your website. So I pushed them and pushed them. Finally, they said, Ricardo, we get 5 leads on a monthly basis from our website today. If you make it 10 leads, we're going to call it success. All right? So our purpose when developing the website and spending the $17,000 for this company was to create 10 leads or qualified leads that hopefully at least half of them or 25% of them would buy from them. That was the goal. And so I went to my company and I said, listen, guys, they just laid off 17 people. I hope we can do well for them. And so we start planning. And what they build is washers, plastic washers, washers of all size, thickness, and so forth. So we created a design that showed really, are you on Wi-Fi? No. Okay. I cannot show you the design, but basically, we had the call to action, and we had a form for people to fill in. And we launched the website. So within 6 weeks of launching the website, this is 2008, 2009, they started receiving 10 leads on a weekly basis. The goal was 10 on a monthly basis. They were getting on a weekly basis, and they were very happy. So they called me again about 2 months later, said, Ricardo, we're very happy, love the website, we're getting traction, we're getting leads. I said, all right, great. I said, I think we can do better. How? By indexing your website with Google and showing the value proposition that you have. Well, how many leads can we have? I don't know. I cannot promise you anything, but I think we can double it to 20 leads on a weekly basis. That was exciting to them, and they paid us to do this. And within 6 weeks, we went from 10 leads on a weekly basis to 20 leads on a daily basis. And now, they rehired the 17 people, and I was very proud. It felt good. It was when my spiritual conversion was happening, and I was like, oh my God, this is something wonderful we have done. So I kept the relationship with them, and we met about 6 months later, and they said, how can we do better? So it became a challenge, And so I started to talk to my staff, and I said, all right, how could they do better? And we came up with ideas, several ideas. One of them was to create a game out of washers, with magnetized washers. And now you sell washers, but they are in a kit, so you sell many washers. And they go, no, we are not a game company. We are manufacture washers, right? So every time we gave an idea, it was like, no, no, no. And finally, about a year later, it took about a year for this to happen. And they said, you have to help us. And we're eating and we're having a nice restaurant. And I said, okay, hang on a second. You only sell in the United States and Canada. Why? Well, because that's where you speak English, and like, okay. And the packages are this size, right? Small size? Yeah. I said, let's sell you your washers around the world. Can we do that? Yeah. I'll take care of the marketing. You'll take care of the shipping. Call whatever is needed for shipping. And so we started it and changed. We made them more international, basically adding an icon saying selling worldwide with a map, putting in Europe, Asia, South America. And then we did a search engine optimization campaign worldwide. We went from 20 leads a day to 65 leads a day. And they are between 65 and 100 leads every day today. That's one of our best customers. Very happy. And the proudest thing that we are about is we're selling to China. Yeah.
What's the closing rate?
It varies between 10 to 20%. Yeah. So in our case, in your case, you have to set up. Okay, I want a new international distributor per month. You can set up whatever the goals are, but make them measurable, just like the other guys have done. One other thing is make your website work well. And this is what is called concentric marketing. Basically, you use a really good website, and then you use other tactics to point to your website to get more of the information. So if you have a magazine ad, instead of having a huge magazine ad, you can make it smaller and put a teaser and point to the website. So this is quite effective. Oops. Another thing that you should do is make sure to track your marketing campaigns. So for example, if you put a magazine ad, add a specific page that there's no way to get to that page unless you know the URL. And so then you can go through analytics, you can go and review how many people are going to that page, and you will know the success of that specific magazine ad or specific tactic. So websites are used in many different ways, from lead generation, education, customer service, recruiting, technical support, branding, training, or to gain efficiencies to communicate. And now I'm going to talk about the hunting analogy. So you need to know what you're going to be hunting, and the equipment that you're going to use, the weapons that you're going to use, when to hunt, where to hunt. So you need to decide how many clients do I need on a monthly or annual basis. For Cazarin Interactive, my company, I need 4 elks a month and 2 elephants per year. 4 elks per month, 2 elephants per year. My elephants are a minimum of $50,000. My elks are between $10,000 and $25,000. If I hunt that and I acquire that, we're good. So, and we have rabbits. The rabbits are usually a project that is $5,000. And I only take a rabbit if I see the potential for growth. If they have $5,000 and they want a $50,000, I say yes, but no thank you. Once you get into sales and you see the dreamers, you know how to choose them. And I have had some rabbits that become elks, and even rabbits that become elephants. You just have to talk to them, make sure that they do have a plan, that they know what they are doing, and you can help them to get there. So the rabbits have small budgets. The elks are the perfect customer, the right budget and profitability for your company. Like I said, for us, it's a project between $10,000 to $25,000. The elephants, we just got an elephant last week. That's $150,000. Big websites. But I don't want a lot of those because they get all of your resources out. And so only 2. So what does your ideal elk look like? What does that look like? What's the budget that they have? What's the location? What's the needs that those people have? So you need to know your vision, your ethics, and use the right tool for each customer or prospect. Okay, so if you don't know who are you hunting for, if you don't know what the elk looks like, it's like you're hunting blind. Like you're just shooting and hopefully you'll hit on something. So that's called hunt blindly. And any success is just luck. If you know what they look like, but you don't have the right tactic going, it's like having an eye open and maybe you can shoot and the probability for success increases. And then if you know where you're going after and you're using the right tactic, you're shooting for success and you can have measurable results. So we came out with this term. My company started as a web design company, and in 2008, 2009, I morphed it from a web design company to a marketing digital agency, and that's where we are today. So we help companies to achieve goals and objectives in a 6-month campaign or a 1-year campaign. And we have many case studies. We had the Bokers one that I just told you. We have one with Cameron's Coffee in Shakopee. In Shakopee, let me tell you what we did there, because that one was kind of cool. Sat down with the CEO, and he told me, you have 15 minutes, Ricardo, to tell me why I should invest the thousands of dollars that you're going to ask me for, or I should buy a template for $275. By the time I came to meet with him, I had already researched the company, and I knew the brand of Cameron's Coffee, okay? And so I said, you should do business with me because it will cost you $0. Your website will cost you $0. I said, what do you mean? I said, I believe so much in my company, and I believe so much in your brand that I'm willing to invest whatever it's going to cost me into a website. And you have to agree with me that I will get a percentage of the sales for a 4-year period. My 15 minutes became 2 hours, including a tour of the whole facility. And 6 weeks later, he signed up for the project. And I would have probably charged them $15,000 to $20,000. I have made well over $150,000 today. And my relationship continues. So I was willing to partner with them. And if I didn't sell a thing, he paid nothing, right? So we increased the sales from X to 12X. And they are very happy. In fact, they are ecstatic. And just on Thursday of last week, they told us they are so happy that they are doubling the budget to pay us. So that's the type of relationships we like, and it works very well.
So you're no longer a trophy husband?
I am the trophy husband, and I enjoy that. Gun Companies is another fabulous client. Handsome Builders, brand new customer. Cameron's Coffee. So what we tell people is, define a budget for a 3 to 6 month campaign, and interview at least 3 companies like us, and hire on a trial basis. And make sure that you put measurable results into your process. We do the marketing, you focus on your business. And, what we offer at Cazarin is 6-month or 12-month plans. And if you want to, let us be your marketing department. That's it. Thank you very much.
you.